Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack cat. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. Orale, as you can tell by today's thumbnail, Fresno Bulldogs, orale, the Perro Chatos, have done it again. Yes, they're here. The Bulldogs are here. Oh, yes, they did it again. They ran up on a Norteno, an active Norteno, man. I mean, it's a very unfortunate situation. It's something I wanted to bring to light because it shows you that gangbanging and the beef between active Norteños and Bulldogs is still relevant. It's still real. Will it ever stop? One never knows, does one. But I know in this case right here, Avato got caught lacking and slipping. But was he really slipping? What's your definition of slipping and lacking? I guess he was out of bounds. He was in an area he shouldn't have been. And I'm going to tell you guys the story. But it was brought to me by several different perros and a couple of Norteños that told me the same story. I had to make sure it was right. I had to make sure it was righteous. I had to make sure it was real. I had to make sure and do my due diligence and make sure I'm not bringing you guys some frivolous ass bullshit. Now, I will say this. There's a water park in Fresno County that a lot of people go to. And in order to tell you guys this story about just what happened, I'm going to tell you about a story about me and my homeboys. It was 1997. It was hot than a motherfucker, about 114, 115, right? And all the homeboys decided, 2 carloads deep, that we were going to go to Clovis Lakes at the time. That's what it was called. Blackbeard's is the place for fun, right? We wanted to go to this water park. There's water slides, pools. You could barbecue out there. It was cool. You know, it was a cool situation. And, you know, at this time, I was already knowing about the Perro Chatos, already knowing about the politics when it came to Norteños and Bulldogs. Some of my homeboys weren't up on game. They weren't even incarcerated, so they didn't know about Fresno being a Bulldog capital, you know, hella Bulldogs, and that they were no longer Norteños. My homeboys just figured, fuck it, we're going to go try to knock some bitches and some thongs, and we're going to go win. Arby's, orale, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm down, fuck it. But I knew I had to keep my head on swivelization because there's going to be Bulldogs there. And if they feel some type of way, I, myself, yes, the gun was going to feel some type of way. It was going to go down, okay? And I was already fucking, the heat is on. I was already used to it. And it's summertime, it's hot, and fuck it, you know what I mean? We were all going to be on this anyways because it wasn't going to be no la la la. Not in the theme park, at least I thought, right? So we get there. I remember we get there, it's about 6 homeboys, a few chicks we took with us. And, you know, everybody's having a good time. Me and the homeboys are going down water slides. And lo and behold, what do we see? What do we fucking see? A couple Perro Chatos, Fresno Bulldog hats. One of them has Bulldogs real big across his back. And they're kind of looking, right? And we're kind of looking. And my homeboy Monkey from the hood, he's like a little fucking pit bull. And a Bulldog's like a pit bull, right? He's already foaming out the mouth. He had been in YA, so he knew what time it was. He's like, hey, are those fucking Bulldogs, homes? I said, yeah. He said, should we get off? I mean, I said, it's up to you. So I said, I ain't tripping. If they ain't tripping, I ain't tripping. And I mean, it wasn't like it was an on-site thing. Back then it was kind of like stand your ground. Motherfucker, you do you, we're going to do us, right? Unless you want to do us, then we're going to do you, right? And that's just what it was. I remember they didn't say nothing. They kind of looked away. They they got to talking and conversating. And I was aware enough to know, all right, we can't let them formulate a plan and a plot. Because if we let that go down, these fucking Bulldogs will get off. They're known for that shit. Don't give them time to think. Never give a fucking dog time to think. Because they'll be like, what's up, dog? And then, and then it's over, right? Once you start hearing barking, you're going to get bit. That's just the way it is in the game, right? So, of course, me and my homeboy come down from the water side. We slide down. That motherfucker was fun and shit. You know what I mean? We get down that motherfucker, right? We're looking. The Bulldogs are still there in like the distance. There's probably like 6 or 7 of them. And they're looking and they're pointing and shit. Like, hey, I can see them doing that. And all kinds of white birds over there. And I tell my homeboys, we go tell the homeboys, hey, there might be some funk. It might get funky. So one of the homeboys, he's an OG. You know, he's older than us at this time. 3-4 years older. He was like, fuck that, bro. Why don't we just go approach him on some civilized shit and tell him, hey, this is what it is, homes. If we're going to get off, there's women, there's children present. Let's not fucking make it a bullshit thing. We can go bend a block one time, homes, and see each other. It's that serious, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm all for that, right? So we actually walked up to the Bulldogs. And as we started walking up, they're like, oh, fuck, because they had some children there. And we weren't trying to make them uncomfortable around their kids and their old ladies. We weren't trying to clown them. This was some respectful shit. This was some real Norteño shit, the way that we got down. We were about to show these Perro Chatos just the way the Norte moved back then. It's different now. Now they move different, right? But the way we moved was kind of like, hey, we'll take that head up fade, we'll hit the corner, we'll bend a block, Holmes, and we'll do what we does, cuz, right? On power, woo, we're with our business. So I remember walking up to him and the homeboy like, hey, there was a bigger one, the one with Bulldogs on his back. He had a long Mongolian, which tripped me out because we had already cut our Mongolians off. Well, I still had mine. It was 1997. I didn't cut mine off till later. So I still had mine. But I remember this vato had a fucking chongo from hell. His shit was dipped, right? And I was wondering why the Bulldogs were still rocking the Mongolians. But I remember it just flew through my mind real quick. And I was kind of like, okay, then that's enough of thinking about that, right? I need to think about how hard he hits, right? And so the homeboy's like, hey, can I get at you? And he was like, what's up? And he's kind of keeping his distance. He's like, what's up, dog? And my homeboy goes, like, trip out on this, bro. You already know what time it is, Holmes. This is Westside Merced Norte. You know what I mean? We're not coming here to disrespect you vatos or anything. But at the same time, Holmes, we're not going to go for fucking feeling uncomfortable. We got our hyenas with us. We're not going to go for mean mugs. No, none of that, bro. We understand, Holmes. This is Fresno. You vatos are down for whatever. We also are down for whatever, Holmes. But we're just here to tell you we're not here to disrespect you vatos. You know what I mean? But we can get funky. So that's okay. Hey, I'm going to stay short but funky. You feel me? Like too short. And the perros were like, we appreciate the respect, Holmes. As long as you vatos do you, we're going to do us. We ain't tripping. So the homeboy said, look, I'm going to let you know right now. We're going to take that as your word. You know what I mean? As a man. And we could do ours and you could do yours. And they did. They did. They were barbecuing. They were doing their fucking little thing. We did our thing. And nobody was mean mugging anyone. Everyone was living in peace and pinchy harmony, right? Because the tension was gone. Now, of course, I kept looking. You know what I'm saying? I was Houston. We might have 2 more problems, right? There's 2 more dogs came. But nothing ever amounted to nothing. They gave us the pass. We gave them the pass. It wasn't necessarily giving us the pass because at the same time, we'd have got off too. We're grown men, just like they were grown men. We were just out of bounds. They could have made a phone call and had 50 out our front door like, hey, mister, and it would have been ugly. So, dog, right? So let's fast forward to nowadays. What just happened? There was a Norteno from Modesto. I'm not going to say his barrio because I'm not going to put it on his doorstep like that. But he's an active Norteno, was in a few music videos. So he's pretty well known around his town and is with the business. Has been known to be with the business. He found himself in the Waterpark out there in Fresno County with his familia. His old lady, his children, and he was by himself. Now this vato has a couple tattoos, big indicating huelga birds and his barrio on his back. So he's out there representing. I ain't going to take nothing from him. He's an active Norteño. He's doing what he does, shirt off, homie. The representamos of what he's banging, homie, is real. Okay, and I'm sure this guy is up aware and knows enough to know that, of course, he's in Fresno County. And it's like a 99.9% chance at this water park you're going to run into perro chatas. You're going to run into Fresno Bulldogs. They are like the Sureños in Santa Cruz. They pretty much control the boardwalk, right? You're going to run into them. It's just, it's a fact. It's actual, it's factual. They're about to be there like just waiting, searching, ready to bite someone, right? Ready to bite someone's culo. So look, the homeboy's right there. He's mobbing. He's got his family, his kids. He's lacking, bro. He's lacking, or is he? That's a question I pose to you. He's doing his family thing. Okay, is he in the wrong for having his shirt off and having his tattoos displayed? Actives would be like Charlie Holmes. He's letting it be known. Okay, yeah, and that's cool. But when you're with your familia and your kids, you're putting them in danger. You're putting them in harm's way because now you're letting everybody know, like a walking billboard, exactly what you represent and where you're from. And what that does is that loses the element of surprise, Holmes. That gives them the green light to get off on you because you're disrespecting them. You're busting their eyes. That's what we used to call it back in the days. Are you fucking busting my eyes? It says so, don't it? Then you're busting my eyes, right? And we used to get off. Menudo, right? And that's just what it was. That's why I had a 14 over my eye real dark, because I wanted to bust eyes. I wanted everyone to understand exactly where the fuck I was coming from. What business I was with. There's a lot of different businesses. This was mine. You know what I mean? And so he's doing the same thing. Now, looking at it from an active standpoint back in the days, how I would have been, I'd have been like, hey, homie, get down, demon. Get up, Chucky, right? Do your thing, bro. I ain't mad at you. Let these fuckers know where you're from, bro. But when you got your wife and your kids, okay, I understand about being a man, but sometimes you have to be a different type of man. You have to be the man to think about your familia before your ganga, before your gang, before your barrio. Now, I understand, hey, mi barrio es primera, Holmes. Yeah, but your children don't know that. Okay, your children don't know exactly what can happen, and things could get ugly fast, especially in Fresno. Grimy situations Bulldogs are a little bit different. They don't give a fuck. Now, I'm not saying they're beating up on women and children. That's not the get down. But, you know what I mean? When things start flying, homes, you know, if a kid's in the way, man, it's a casualty of war and it's an ugly situation. You just don't want to put your family in that type of danger. So I'm not going to sit here and say the Vato was in the wrong or he was in the right. He was just doing his family thing. I don't think he was out there like 1-4 and gang banging. He was just doing his thing. Well, anyways, 4 young Bulldogs spot him. This is facts. They spot him and they're not even going to hesitate, Holmes. They start to get to barking. Hey, dog, where you from, dog? There's no hiding it. Vato lets them know this is exactly where I'm from. They say, okay, we're exactly going to beat your ass, right? And they rush him. Now he's holding his own against 4. 2 more jump in. There's 6 on him, and they're on him hardcore, right? They start biting his ankles and shit. Toes are gone. The Bulldogs start biting, right? And of course, he can only do so much as a grown man. It wasn't like this Vato was fucking Big U with knocking 32 people out. He held his ground. He stood his ground as an active Norteno, and that's all you're asked of in the movement is to stand your ground, Holmes, and defend yourself in the casa, in the household, right? So he defended himself. Of course, his children were there crying. His old lady, I'm sure she was like, bitch, right? And everything was everything, but it was an ugly situation. The fact that these Bulldogs still chose to get off, even though his family was there. Now, I've been in situations I've told you about where motherfuckers is like, ooh, you're lucky, motherfucker, you're with your kids or your family. Then I've been in situations where they pull the strap out right there to my kid. Okay? In the game, you never know what can happen. When you're an active gang member and you're really out there getting it, there's no rules, Humps. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say there's rules to this shit and he should have knew better, so he should have did better, and so you got to give him knowledge you can't get in college. Hey, things change like that, right? You could be kicking it one day. Blackbeards is the place for fun. Going down the water slides, having all kinds of fun, right? Eating a fucking hot dog. I can't call it like an alcoholic. And just drinking a Pepsi, right? And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got 4 or 5 fucking Fresno Bulldogs on your headpiece. And that's exactly where the situation went. It went from a good fun in the sun, a good time with his family, to a quick, ugly situation that escalated to physicalities, right? And the Bulldog jumped him, and they smashed him out, right? And I've heard this from several people, even people from his neighborhood. And it was an ugly thing. But do I commend and do I respect that youngster? I call him a youngster. He's younger than me. Do I respect him for doing what he did? Absolutely, man. He stood his ground. Do I think that he should have been out there displaying his colores and his tattoos and shit out of bounds? No. But hey, some people are different. There's a different type of gangster in them, right? I know if I got my family, I'm going to try to minimize damage and do the least I can to put them in harm's way. But that's just me. Doesn't mean I'm a sucker or a punk. I just think about other people other than myself. I'm not a fucking selfish person. Or am I? One never knows, does one? Yeah, you hold. Right? But in this case, he did get ran up by the Fresno Bulldogs and they smacked him out, right? It happens. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I've told it before on a live, and I'm going to tell you right now. 94, excuse me, I'm in Nellis, right? Right before I left to Fresno. And we're in the oil. And Bulldogs are now separated from us. So there would be some lightweight woofing going on in the caja, the box, the whole back and forth. Sometimes there wouldn't be. I myself never bumped baking soda breath on the door. I try to keep it professional. I didn't give a fuck about screaming and yelling and wasting my breath on the door, Holmes. If you see me, you see me. I was pretty well known in Nellis. You ask any Bulldog that was there with me, they know exactly who I was. And like I said, a lot of them embraced and wanted me to become a Bulldog, and then a lot of them wanted to stab me. That latter happened, right? Because I said, fuck no, I refuse to lose. Fuck them 22s, right? And I wasn't going out like that because I was a true believer and a firm believer in the Huelga fashion. I was an Norteno, and I wasn't going to switch up for nobody. That was me, okay? That's my beliefs. And I stuck hardcore. Didn't mean I didn't respect the Bulldogs. I absolutely did. A lot of them were my homeboys. But at the same time, bro, I'm going to fucking come in as I go out. You know what I mean? Bang, bang. Menudo. That's real G shit. So I'm kicking back. We're on the tira, you know, and everyone's fishing. And yeah, we were fishing back then as youngsters. And we're in the caja. We don't have much. We have like maybe one lowrider magazine we're trying to share in between all the homeboys. And I remember the homeboy Puerco from San Juan was my neighbor. Dopey from Fresno was on the other side. And on the other side of me, kind of down the tier, was a vato named Viper from Fresno. And me and Viper were always cool. We always kept it cool. Never had no animosity amongst us. Never had no words. We were cool. And I remember I shot him down. He was like, hey, gun. Or, hey, Skins. They called me Skinner back then. Hey, Skinner. I said, what's up? He's like, hey, can I look at that magazine? Can I peep it out? I was like, some of these perro chatos, you shoot them a magazine, they won't shoot it back. They be acting all, you know what I mean? But I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Orale, Fresno, right? So I shot it to him. So he's reading it for the day. Next day, the homeboy Puerco hit me up because it was his magazine. I shouldn't even shot it, but I'm trying to be nice and shit, right? He's like, hey, you got my magazine, carnal? I was like, all right, wait up. Spence on a tira, right? Hey, Viper, can you shoot that down? He's like, fuck you, Buster. I knew it was going to happen that way. I should have knew this shit was going to go down. He was like, this Fresno Bulldogs punk, when I see you, I'm going to beat your ass. I was like, you ain't going to see me and you definitely ain't going to be my ass. Come on, bro. You's a sucker, right? We know that. Everybody knows that. Shit, your own homeboys will tell you you's a sucker, right? He was like, hey, I'm moving a Merced when I get out. It's on a crack and I'm going to go live with my canales, so I'm going to see you. I said, oh, this fool's blowing smoke. Hot smoke, right? He don't want none of that. Especially in the town, bro, it'll be a wrap. Fast forward years later. I done did the Preston thing. I done did the Carl Holton thing. Now I'm doing the street thing, right? And I'm out. And it's summertime hot. And I'm chilling with my homeboy Kiki, a couple other homeboys, man. Homeboy Soldier Boy. And we're mobbing. The macking and mobbing is real, right? And we're cruising a little beat up Honda Accord. We think we're doing big things. We got 112. It's all blown out, but it still bumps. And me and the homeboy that was in YA together, one of my homeboys from the hood, we're in that car cruising. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? The speaker's all chueco. And we're mobbing. And we see this fucking perro walking in our neighborhood to the dead end store, to our hood store. This Vato's walking. Ding dong, the bitch is dead, the bitch is dead, the bitch is dead. He's just getting his mob on like it's all good in the hood. It ain't. Oh, gente wasn't. You know what I mean? Perro chatos, depends on la tira. It's not good, right? In the hood. Just like I wouldn't be good if I'm just mobbing in your hood, right? It's not good, right? Back then. So anyways, this motherfucker's mobbing. I said, oh, hell, is that about the Viper? Me and my homeboy look at each other. He's like, that is Viper. To what degree, Viper? The highest degree? Look at him. I said, fuck that. I told the homeboy, pull up and drop me off. So the homeboys are like, hey, we're going to bend the block. We're going to do it like this and like that and like that. And then I was like, man, ain't nothing but a G thing. So they dropped me off. I got me a little bat, put them in my back. Statute of limitations up. Can't get me. Bang, bang. Happened a long time ago. I put the bat right here and I fucking proceed to walk. And I remember we dropped one of the other little homeboys off right there at the fucking front of the store. So motherfuckers didn't really know what time it is. This fool's mobbing. And as I'm mobbing behind him, I start walking faster. He starts to look back and I see his eyes go, oh, fuck, that's Skinner, right? Don't. This is for la raza. I'm about to put it down for la raza. I know it's bad, but it's about to be better, right? And so I'm mobbing. This fool starts walking fast. You know, first he's walking. All of a sudden, like he was hardcore. Tell me that I love you. He's just mobbing. Then he starts seeing me and he's like, don't. And next thing you know, he's in full run mode, right? This vato tries to run in the store. Pobrecito, it was a bad mistake, right? As he runs into the store, my little homie drops to the knees and grabs him around the waist so he can't go in the store. So the Vato's trying to go in the door. All you hear is ding, 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 ding. Boom! I said, double up, right? Jose Canseco shit, minus the coca. Bam! Or was it? One never knows, does one. 97 was a crazy year. Boom! This motherfucker fell out in the store and all you heard was ding dong, ding dong. He's halfway in the store, halfway out. I proceed to do the stompalization on the head. Not the rompalization. I'm not from Vallejo. I'm from Merced. The stompalization, right? Menudo, right? It was a bad situation. Of course, I had to wiggle, right? I wanted to tell that story because if you're caught lacking and slipping, you know, you never know. You know, me and that guy never had a disrespectful word until that day. He wanted to burn me for the Lowrider magazine and talk all that high-powered shit. And it caught up to him. You can still find him. He's in Merced right there panhandling. You know what I mean? For changes. So okay. The Bulldogs don't claim him no more. I don't think they claimed him even by then. But it was real. Because I remember when he was running, he was like, I don't bang no more. I don't bang no more. I was like, I do. Boom. And that was it. And I'm not sitting here to tell you guys because I'm fucking glorifying it and the violence and all that. It's just a true story. It's what happened. It's part of my life. You know, it's facts. But yes, the Bulldogs will run up on you in Fresno. You know what I mean? As well as Nortenos will run up on you in their hood. Do I think the rivalry between the Fresno Bulldogs and the Nortenos is ever going to cease and end? It's going to take a lot, Holmes. It's going to take a whole lot. Now, I've did time with Bulldogs for a lot of years, and I will say I respect the fuck out of the Fresno Bulldogs. I respect their movement. I respect their get down. But what I respect even more is the way they don't play that shit, Holmes. They're quick to handle their business. How could they not be, Holmes? They were laced a certain way, man. The motherfucking shit is instilled in their blood. It's indoctrinated in their character and the way they carry themselves. Let me tell you, Holmes, the Fresno Bulldogs, the F-14 movement, Holmes, was always one of the most vicious movements within the Norteno collective. That's a fact, Holmes. So I can never take anything away from them. And anyone that knows, if you're a Norteno, Holmes, you have to carry your own solid. That's just the way it is. That's a fact. So the Bulldogs do that. It's just unfortunate to see Bulldogs and Nortenos getting off on each other 30 fucking years later, Holmes. The shit don't stop. Do I think it ever will? Shit, I can't call it like an alcoholic. One thing I do know is that's going to be a hard mountain to climb. Hey, you, get off our mountain. The Bulldogs ain't playing. My back itches. I must be getting some money. Either that or I got a broga. I can't call it like an alcoholic, but I'm real. You know what I mean? At least I'm real. With that being said, gente, it happened. You know, the acting Norteno did get moved on by the Bulldogs. And back in the days, I did have to move on and act Bulldog one time from my mind, right? It's neither here nor there. It's never fucking a good in the game, but it happens. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, when's this shit gonna stop? Humps, it's not gonna stop until our voices are felt and we make shit stop. Until then, Humps, and the beat goes on like the whispers. You know what it is. Go out there and get it for your familia. At least they'll eat and they'll have a full stomach before some bulldog comes and bites the shit out of them. Bang, bang! Or vice versa. Well, guy, you just never know what it is, right? If you like this, please hit a like and subscribe. One time for my mind with a thumbs up. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to struggle and strive for what I believe in, and that's bringing everyone together. Even Pedro chapter. Alright, Pedro! Come on, dog. It's all good, doggy dog. You know what I mean? So it's good. We don't fuck with you about this. I know. But I fuck with you guys. So you know what it is. Bang, bang. This is the gun. Raiders! And in that fashion.